Hi, everybody. Welcome to our next Power Burst with myself, Tara Gretton, and my wonderful friend and colleague, Vicky Essebag. And as you know, at the moment, we are doing a short series on schools and educators. So the question that we have for you today is, as a school educator, how do we reimagine a preferred day? And how do you act on that difference? So as a school educator, how do you reimagine a preferred day and how do you act on that difference? So we were kind of talking about how things can be really challenging in school sometimes. Sometimes, the day, the week, you might have your really good intentions, your really good best hopes, preferred futures for how the year's going to go, and then you just have a few days that things go really challengingly, that they're really difficult. So what might be a way that can kind of get you back on track? So in Solution Focused, we have the wonderful question of, what are your best hopes? What is your preferred future? So just imagine that you can kind of utilize that idea of thinking about imagining tomorrow. So suppose tomorrow was to be a better school day. What would that look like? So the brain only marginally knows the difference between imagination and reality. So giving yourself the space to think about, suppose I was to walk into the class tomorrow and I was to arrive there exactly as I wanted to be. I was relaxed and I was beaming. What would that look like? What would I be doing? What would the children notice that was different about me? So giving yourself that space to reimagine a preferred future for the next day. Vicky, what would you add to that?
Yes, and I think when we have the opportunity to imagine that preferred future, what we're actually doing is imagining our best selves within that context, bringing our best self to the classroom, to the relationship with the student. And what that does is it opens up an opportunity for our brain to think differently, right? Because it can be very hard, right? If you've had a day as a teacher where you've been battling it out with a student who is refusing to behave in the classroom or to follow direction or any one of those things, it can be very frustrating, very tiring. And imagine a day for a teacher where they're confronting a number of those situations throughout the day, so that by the time the end of the day comes around, they're exhausted, right? And so there is that, I used to call it, when I was teaching, I used to call it medicine ball head. You finish the day with a head that feels like you've got a medicine ball on it instead. And you just don't know what to do. You're just exhausted and you just don't know what to do. So what this preferred future allows you to do is to literally just say, okay, I'm going to walk around with my medicine ball head for a little while. I'm going to take the rest that I need. And when I'm able to take that head off, I'm going to put on this head that is going to allow me to imagine what I really want, right? That's going to allow me to imagine going into school tomorrow. And it's just the way I want it. And when I can imagine just the way I want it, what I really want, then I can see what I really want. And when I can see what I really want, I can make it happen. And I can show up at school that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's that belief that change is possible. So often when we walk away from a situation or a day that hasn't gone as we've hoped to, we can be really hard on ourselves and naturally think about all the things that we haven't done and that we'd hoped we'd done. So it's just thinking, okay, so suppose I'm able, as you say, to turn up tomorrow my best self and to be able to do the things that I hope to do. What would that look like? What would be the first tiny sign towards that? What will I be doing? So it's just like being taking care of yourself, allowing yourself to take yourself out of that negative mindset that's just, quite unfair on yourself, and inviting yourself to visualize something that's wanted and said.
That's right. And we don't have to, we're in that chapter of negativity from today. We don't have to pick up the book and read the same chapter tomorrow.
Mm.
We can start a new chapter with a new intention.
Yeah.
And so it's reframing. So what I love about this, Tara, is that this future orientation really allows us to reframe our intention and to bring ourselves to the situation differently in a way that we want. And the remarkable thing about that is when we bring ourselves to a situation differently, our students notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
say, well, wait a
And
second.
respond.
Wait a second. Who is this teacher that showed up today? You know? And they like it. And they respond very, very positively to it.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wow.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vicky.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.
See you next time.